The mean cost per lead across all industries is over $198. So when a lead is unqualified, it's costly. And that's why we're bringing you an award-winning expert, Matt Bowen. Matt recently took home Google's Lead Generation Premier Partner of the Year award for logical position because of the work that he did for his client, DMOV CPA Services. So first off, can you explain the difference between a lead and a qualified lead?
The classic example here is you're somebody who does financial advising, but you really only do the kind of financial advising for people that are making, $300,000 a year. But if you're bidding on a keyword that's relevant, like financial advisor, certified financial planner, you might get people who make $80,000 a year who do need financial planning, but they're just not the right fit for you. And ultimately, while that's a lead, it's not a qualified lead because it's not going to turn into revenue.
Got it. So what do we do about that? How can we start generating more high quality leads?
The dream of lead gen marketers for so long has been, if I could only get after just the exact right people. And then what Google came out with was OCI, or also called OCT, offline conversion import or offline conversion tracking. What this does is it takes any information that you're capturing post that lead generation event in your customer relationship management software. And then you can value all of those steps through that sales pipeline and eventually the actual close. So if somebody finally hires you and the value of that contract is $10,000 over the 12 months, you can pass all of that data into Google. So now me as a marketer, I don't just see somebody called you. I see that somebody called you and they spoke to a salesperson and they scheduled a follow-up. And then at that follow-up, they closed a $10,000 deal. And now that I can use that data to go after people that look like that person instead of just going after anyone who's vaguely interested enough to call you or fill out a form fill. And that is a total game changer.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So what's the catch?
As much as I'm talking about how great OCI is, there are limitations. And fundamentally, the way that it works is it's taking either a Google Click ID or an email that has captured and matching that against Google's data set. And it's not going to be able to match 100% of the post form fill or phone call people and what they're doing. And so you may go from having had 100 phone calls tracked to having only 3 closed sales tracked. And only 3 sales in, say, a 30-day window is not enough signal volume to feed into that algorithm. So you still run into the same problem. You end up needing to do some kind of blended approach between the two, where you have your really, really high quality, high value signals coming from OCI or OCT, and then you have additional signal volume to help the algorithm around, hey, these are lead forms, these are phone calls, they should be pretty good. And then getting that mix right is a real challenge. And that's kind of where some of the science and magic come together to differentiate good marketers from bad.
With all these new tools, are the worlds of lead generation and e-commerce becoming more different or more similar?
It's actually now they're becoming more similar because we're seeing there are conversion rates from that phone call to actually closing the deal. And there are order values. I may be getting HVAC installed in my home and I may need a $2,000 installation or I may need a $10,000 installation depending on the size of my home and how fancy an AC unit I want to get. In the past, the old lead gen mindset was, I can pay $75 for the phone call that's going to turn into a $2,000 service, and I can pay $75 for the phone call that's going to turn into a $10,000 service. And that's just obviously the wrong mindset. You should be willing to pay more for the larger ticket sale. Let's say the CPA is $100. If you pay $100 for the call and they close for a $2,000 service, you just made that 20x return. But if they call and they close for the $10,000 service, you just made that 100x return. And while 100x return sounds great, typically the way that you'd want to optimize is say, yes, 100x return is great, but I should be willing to accept a 50x return or a 30x return because as I bring that return down, there's still plenty of sufficient margin to fall to the bottom line, but now I can spend double. So I can grow and do way more volume for my business. And so in that way, bringing an average order value is starting to kind of bring lead gen and e-commerce a little bit closer.
Can I rely on automation or sort of set it and forget it mindset when it comes to lead generation?
If I were a business owner, I wouldn't be trying to just set up something automatically. My goal with any digital marketing relationship I have with my clients is always to grow the business. And so there is no set it and forget it. We're always looking for ways to take it to that next level. There's so many levers in Google Ads and every business, every auction is so specific that there is no one size fits all, set it and forget it, easy option. And there's no guarantee that a set it and forget it approach is going to keep you flat because presumably your competitors are not doing that. There's only so much HVAC work to do in a given area. And it's very easy to lose that market share to a competitor.
Okay, to quickly sum it all up, how do I get the most out of my lead generation?
If for the last several years you've been running your digital marketing and have been frustrated with the fact that you get a ton of junk calls and a ton of junk leads, there has been a paradigm shift. And the ability to get actual closed sale data information into your account is revolutionary and should help you to minimize those low relevancy leads.
Thanks, Matt. And if you want to see the amazing work that Matt did for DMOV Tax Services, you can watch that case study video right here.